From far and wide, Oilers fans, this is Dolynny TV. And welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on Dolynny TV. I'm Tyson. We are going to get ripped right into this one. Currently, it's the first period intermission between the Nashville Predators and the Edmonton Oilers. Leon Draisaitl early in the period scored a shorthanded goal. Penalty kills looked excellent, but that's not what we're talking about right now. I'll talk about that in the game breakdown later on tonight. Essentially, right now, what I want to get to, sans stream tonight, essentially because I had some running around to do. 6 o'clock game, math doesn't work in my favor. However, today was the trade deadline. A lot of fuss made leading up. Obviously, I made a lot of fuss, right? 3 guys we need to trade. What do you do with Alex Chiasson? Is Lucic and Puljujarvi going somewhere? What's going on with the Oilers and their trade deadline approach? Well, as we saw today, it was as simple as this. Nothing. I know a couple of people text me, oh, it sounds like we might get Connor Brown out of Toronto, or oh, it sounds like this. We did nothing. We did nothing. It sounded, or could have been, sounded like, don't equal trades. They only equal rumors, and today now, as it stands, we know what this Oilers team is going to look like going forward for the next 21 games. That includes tonight against Nashville, in which we lead 1-0. Guys, the simple math I need you to keep in mind when I am talking throughout the rest of this video is 14-7. 14 wins, 7 losses, whether it be overtime or regulation. I'm fine and dandy. 7 losses either way. Okay? That's the math. Now everybody ahead of us has to go 500. Simple as that. Minnesota can go 1 game above 500. Colorado can go a game above 500. But everyone else, honestly, we need them to stay at that perfect under 500, 9-10, 10-10, whatever mark to get us into the playoffs at 86, 87, 88 points, whatever it be. So, now you sit here. Now that I've made that point clear, you sit and collect yourself a minute. And you sit and, okay, this Oilers team, what do we know? What can we do? How are we going forward? Well, it's the same mantra we've heard for the past 2 times something big has happened with this team this year. Todd McLellan was fired. What was the message? Ken Hitchcock's message when he came in was it's on these guys to show and prove, to perform, get the job done. Then, well, going into the All-Star break, we certainly weren't showing and proving. We certainly weren't doing anything worth effort. We weren't doing anything good. Peter Chiarelli gets fired. Okay. Good, fine, dandy. What's the message from the brass? What's the message from Bob Nicholson? What's the message from Keith Gretzky? As it stands right now, this group's got to get it done. Then you go into the trade deadline. You get Anthony Stollers for Cam Talbot so as you can activate on the Andre Sekera. Then you go out and trade Ryan Spooner for Sam Gagner, which is a hell of a trade. And now you're suddenly sitting here thinking, what else are we going to do to solve this team? Nothing is what we did. So now you sit here and see, okay, this team has nothing done to it at the trade deadline, essentially. I mean, come on, guys. For some of the prices some of those guys went for, Oilers could have easily afforded to do a little bit of mathematical calculation and gotten somebody at the trade deadline. However, they played it safe. They played it, in my estimation, actually smart. And we'll see how this roster shows improves, right? Because now the message is 100%, 100% written in stone, typed out in articles, and it is as clear as day. It's on this group of guys in the room to get the job done. So what we heard in November, what we heard in January, what we hear today is as clear as this. It is on this group of guys to get it done. And honestly, the way they played the last 3 games, okay? Arizona, New York, and Anaheim. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. Problem is, that's 3 games out of the past 61. You look at the other 57, 58, 59. No. But, as I said, there's a couple of things going for this team now. You've got Mikko Koskinen as the clear number 1. It's his job to go out there and win games. Obviously, he's going to get paid millions of dollars next year, so he better make that look like a good job based on this being a signing by both the Old Boys Club and Peter Chiarelli right at the end of his tenure. And then you go down the line, he's got to be here next year and do the same thing. So you better finish strong to start strong, per se. And you've got Sam Gagner, Colby Cave, Josh Curry now getting in there, right? There's the depth guys have to step up. Obviously, that's been the message all year. Well, you've got Sam Gagner going out there scoring 2 goals in 4 games. We'll see what he does tonight, but things are looking positive. Then you've got a guy like Leon Draisaitl, who everybody, man, this is my favorite. This is my favorite, is how bipolar everybody is on Leon Draisaitl. And I don't mean that in an offensive way, because this is the Oilers fan base, and this is what we get called out on for the most. We flip-flop so much because you sit here and you look at the Oilers fans and you crap on Draisaitl every game against an opponent with McDavid in the lineup. Oh, he couldn't carry his own line. He can't carry his own line. He can't do anything. And then you sends McDavid a couple games, and here's Leon Draisaitl with a point in every single game. So, you know what? Like, he's not a 4-point-a-night player without McDavid. No, don't get me wrong. No, he's a point per game or a 3/4 point per game, a 70-65 point per game player without McDavid. He could do it. He's fine. He's good. We just don't see the sample size enough without McDavid to say, oh, Leon Draisaitl without McDavid is terrible. Yeah, really, honestly, he's not. Let's wake up, smell the coffee, move on from that topic, because it's every single game without McDavid, we're getting improved absolutely wrong, and then suddenly we're like, oh man, Leon Draisaitl had an excellent game tonight. What a beauty. Oh, he's so good. Why can't he play like this with McDavid in the lineup? Because he's playing on McDavid's line and getting even more points. Yes, disconnect. However, it's tough, because now you got to look at more than just Draisaitl, more than just Nugent Hopkins. Lucic, obviously a big one. You've got a guy like Kazian who's getting all up and around the lineup and doing magical things. Then you've got, who else? You've got Tobias Reeder, who has looked okay tonight against Nashville, but he looks okay, but he doesn't score. He doesn't score. So keys to the success, right? Tobias Reeder's got to score some goals. You got to look for some off-the-board scoring, right? Like Josh Curry, Ty Ratty, Jujhar Khaira when he gets back in. There's a couple guys. Matt Benning getting a couple goals. You got a guy like Andrei Sekera getting more points. Like, there are a lot of ways this team can step up. And 14-7 is a tough record to do if guys don't step up. That's 2-1. That's a 2-to-1 ratio, wins to loss, in the next couple of weeks, months, whatever. Honestly, we're about 6 weeks away from the end of the season. That's crazy to think right now, but 6 weeks away, and we got to win 14 games, so that's essentially 2 games a week, 2.5 games a week. You see, that's not math I like, because you only play 3 games a week on average. So it's tough to sell that you got to go out there and win 14 and lose only 7 and hopefully lose 2 or 3 in overtime, but this team, the way they're playing without McDavid and the way McDavid affects them in the long haul of the end of the season, right? McDavid, we marvel at how good he is all year long. And then suddenly, the last 4 weeks of the season, he goes out and absolutely blows the competition out of the water. So if you add what this team is doing right now with a success of Connor McDavid, coming off a suspension and being peed off to go out there and show and prove, and then being, you're in March, wow, boys, she's going to get good right away. And like I said, you got to look for Minnesota, Colorado, Chicago, everybody ahead of us to go below 500, and we could be fine and dandy for a playoff spot. It sounds crazy. It sounds impossible. Mathematically, though, it is very damn well doable. So, guys, that is as simple as it is. How does the trade deadline affect the Oilers? How are we heading the rest of the season? Are we better off, worse off, standing pat? Honestly, we're going to show and prove. That's all the Oilers can do. Are we going to show and prove we are awful, we're a tank team, we need #1 pick? Or are we going to show and prove we've got guts, glory, determination to get it done and get into the playoffs this year? Honestly, this is as simple of a line as I can give you. It would be the most Edmonton Oilers thing the Oilers could do right now to make the playoffs. Honestly, simple as that. If the Oilers make the playoffs, it is the most Oilers thing they could possibly do this season at this point. So guys, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. I'm going to catch you later on for the game breakdown. I am up on out of here.